Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we will tell the president a few things here, and then we'll show him some of the things he said in 2016, and ask him if he believes that some of these things have already been done as we clear the area, because the president must see the screen, and if we take too long, we'll all sit down, but we won't take too long. We'll continue very soon. Thank you very much, our distinguished guests. Thank you very much, everybody. Mr. President, so this is the latest media edifice in your Ghana. And this edifice is a 4-story with 6 studios. Each of the studios has 3 components. So this studio has 3 components. Where we are is a main studio. There's a touch screen here that creates another studio. And this one also creates another studio. So that it can broadcast 3 television stations at the same time, simultaneously. So it can broadcast Metro TV's programming. It can broadcast, say, Ghana Television. And if we have a Akufo-Addo TV, it can also broadcast that as well. So it can broadcast 3 television stations at the same time. This is the first time any such edifice has been created. It was built and constructed by French technology, and I'm glad to report that the Frenchmen have traveled all the way for this inauguration to see you. So you'll see them as we go along. But we want to show you a video of something you told us in 2016, and we want to find out from you if you believe that some of these things have been achieved. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what the president told us in 2016 in the interview. Can we see it now?
I mean, there are a series of things that have to be done to position our country in such a way that we can get going again. We're attracting investment into the country. Ghanaians themselves are very, very keen on investing in creating new enterprises, because you look at the business of unemployment. How are you going to resolve it? You can only resolve it if people are creating enterprises. If people find the atmosphere in the country such that they are putting their money into creating new enterprises, expanding existing enterprises, that's the way that you're going to be able to absorb people and get them to work. Your agriculture is working. Our cocoa industry is in the pits. Can you imagine that we're at a stage in our country where such an important aspect of our economy can grow at a 0.04%? Agriculture, which was growing at 7% in Kufuor's time, is now growing at 0.04%. All the indices, this is what I keep coming back to. And these matters, we are going to continue to hammer them before the people of Ghana this year. They are not figments of my imagination. These are the statistics that are produced by
So you want to go to the election with a theme of, here is the economy of Ghana, here is what it used to be, this is what it has become, and the people of Ghana must change.
And also what it can be. What it can be.
What it can be, the potential.
What it can be, the potential. Because that is what excites some of us about the involvement in the public life of our country. The enormous potential of this country. 25, 27 million people is relatively small for a country, but it is larger than many, many, many countries, even in Europe, developed Europe. The wealth of the nation, the quality of the Ghanaian people. People given incentive, we built a world-class industry in the cocoa industry by small-scale peasant farmers in Ghana, because the incentives were right and the policy framework was correct. Next door, they're doing it next door in Côte d'Ivoire. The export receipts are in the area of $2 billion, largely from cocoa. Côte d'Ivoire is earning $12 billion.
From cocoa?
From the exports of commodities. Not just cocoa, coffee, cocoa, palm oil, cotton, cashew. These are their 5 main export crops. We are essentially still dependent just on cocoa. I mean, all these are because there's a policy framework, there's an attitude at the center of the state which is encouraging business, is encouraging investment, is encouraging enterprise.
In Côte d'Ivoire? In
Côte d'Ivoire. We want to do the same here in Ghana.
And we can?
I have absolutely no doubt. Kufuor's period told us that it is possible. Now, it wasn't perfect. I don't think there's ever been a perfect government, but clearly it showed the way that if the commitment was there, the determination to use the best materials available to you, human materials, the lucidity in which you have made your analysis, and therefore the clarity with which you have applied the solutions, the consistency in applying the solutions, because it is the investment, it is the putting of your money in expanding enterprises, in creating new enterprises. That is the way we're going to be able to deal problems of our unemployment, the growth of our economy, the expansion of our economy, and ultimately, of course, lifting up the living standards of.
So, Mr. President, that's what you said in 2016. Now we are in 2020. You've watched this. Do you feel confident that you have achieved the things that you promised to do?
I think it's very clear that virtually all that has been said is what has been happening in these last 4 years. The expansion of the economy that I committed myself to, we've seen it. We've seen it over these last 4 years. Until the COVID, our economy had been growing at an average of what, some 7% on the average. Went to 8 at 1 year, but on the average, we have a GDP growth rate which is reflecting an expanding economy. The economy we took was what, a 55 billion CD economy, dollar economy, and is today what, a $69 billion economy.
What about agriculture? Have we done well there?
I think agriculture is one of the major successes of the last 4 years. The program for planting for food and jobs has reversed completely the decline in agriculture that we had witnessed up till then. Ghana having to be an importer of food, which was what we saw at the end of the Mahama era, is today a net exporter of foodstuffs to virtually all our neighbors. Ghanaian foodstuffs are found in the markets of Mali, of Niger, of Burkina Faso. You saw the images of Agogo yesterday.
Yes.
Yes. Lorries, truckloads, and it's all because Planting for Food and Jobs has done its job of reviving Ghanaian agriculture. So I stand by everything that was said there. And I believe that the record of my government over these last 4 years is a full vindication of the position that I took before.
There's one more thing in 2016 that you said, and your supporters say you did it, your critics look at it differently. And we're going to show you another video. It's about the Yana-Dagbon conflict. We'll show you what you said in 2016 and the extent to what the achievement that you have made. And we'll decide whether you have actually achieved it. So let's look at another video, the Dagbon edit.
I have no agenda in Dagbon other than the peace, the unity, and the progress of Dagbon. That's the only agenda that I have. And I'm going to work with you on the Kogbakuyana and everybody to make sure the reconciliation and peace becomes a reality here in Dagbon.
It came as no surprise, but actually as a pleasant relief when the Asante-Hene Otumfuo Tutu and his team visited Jubilee House in November 2018 to say that there was great light at the end of the tunnel in the Yendi skin disputes.
And therefore, Mr. President, we've come here to inform you. This committee took a decision and said that the funeral of Na Yakubu and Na Muhammadu Abdullahi should be performed from the 14th of December to the 28th of December this year. We hopefully believe so that after the 18th, the oracles will start, and God willing, within the few days, we shall have a new Yana. And that's what I've come to present you.
Following that came the big day of 25th January 2019, when a new Yana from the Andani Gate had been installed by an MPP president. So, who is to blame for the past and for all this crisis? Well, we don't know, but we know who takes the credit. For after all, high-level closed-door meetings have produced great compromises. 1, that the funeral of Muhammadu Abdullahi has been held. 2, that the funeral of Yakubu Andani had been held. And 3, that an Andani Yana has succeeded another Andani, and in the spirit of peace and reconciliation, no one insisted on the rotation. These are compromises for peace and a show of magnanimity for progress. How did it happen, and why did it happen? It happened because of this man. He kept his promise, he walked his talk, and he stood for peace. He said that he is neither an Abudu nor an Andani.
I am neither an Abudu nor an Andani.
I am an Abu Dhabi. A person who stands for unity, reconciliation, and progress in Dagbon.
Congratulations, President Akufo-Addo. You are truly a man of peace.
So I have to hope that the settlement that led to the inskinment of the new Yana will continue to hold firm. I think there's every reason why it should hold firm. I indicated in 2016 that I didn't have a vested interest in the Dagbon conflict. I wasn't party pre. I was not one of the participants in the drama. My role as president is to facilitate a settlement, and that is what I devoted my energies to. I believe the settlement that has been made in Dagbon, with goodwill from all parties, should hold. It is holding at the moment. We're lucky in the personality of the new Yana. He appears to be a man of considerable maturity and deliberation. He's having the support of the young princes, the Kampukuya, who's today the Yona, the Savaluguna, as well as the Bionlana, the Bolinlana, who's today the Mionlana and the chief of Muhammadu Abdullahi. They appear to be supporting the new Yana. And I believe that if that arrangement holds firm, yes, I don't think there's any state, whether it's Dagbon or Ghana or America or anywhere, which doesn't have its problems. But fundamentally, the settlement that has been made in Dagbon, I believe, will hold firm, and it should.
When you say you're an Abu Dhabi, what does it mean?
I'm both.
You're both?
I'm both.
Abudulai and Nandani.
And yes. So they themselves gave me the title. I mean,
so do you encourage other Ghanaians who are not from the area to say they are Abu Dhabi?
Why not?
I see.
Why not? We can all help bring this position to a conclusion.
Our social media page is cracking up, so we need to go to our next studio and say it. You know that everywhere you go, the social media is high, and we'll be showing you some of the messages. So this is our main studio. We will now go to the next studio. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I have 4 more questions for you when we get there. Oh, really? Yes.
2020, 4 years for Nana. 2020, 2020,